Today, I'm going to be making a peanut butter Texas sheet cake, and I'm also going to be making the peanut butter icing. This is from Gooseberry Patch Church Suppers cookbook. So I'm going to go over the ingredients for the cake, and then I'm also going to tell you what you're going to need for the peanut butter icing. So for the cake, you're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of sugar, ½ teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 cup of butter, that's 2 sticks, 1 cup of water, I measured it out in there, a 1/4 cup of creamy peanut butter, I use Jif, 2 eggs beaten, and so I just cracked my eggs in the bowl and I took my fork and I beat them up with a fork, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and ½ cup of buttermilk. That is buttermilk in there. Now that's for the cake. For the peanut butter icing, you need ½ cup of butter, so that's 1 stick. You need another 1/4 cup of creamy peanut butter. You need 1/3 cup plus 1 tablespoon of milk, which is in here. You need 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and you need a 16-ounce package of powdered sugar. I think mine was like a 2-pound package because I bought the, I think it was the Great Value brand at Walmart, so I measured it out. I just put it on my kitchen scale and I weighed out 16 ounces of the powdered sugar. So what you want to do is you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And you're going to use they call this a jelly roll pan. I've always called it a cookie sheet. That's just what I call it. I'm going to use a piece of parchment paper on mine. I kept out one of these so I can show you. These are the Reynolds cookie baking sheets, parchment paper. So you will see it does not cover the 2 ends, but now it does cover the sides. So I'll just have to take a knife and gently remove it from my end pieces. But I'm going to use a piece of parchment paper. If you don't use parchment paper, you want to grease your pan. You'll definitely want to grease your pan. In a large bowl, it wants you to sift together the flour, sugar, salt, and baking soda. You will see that I'm not sifting anything. I'm literally taking my dry ingredients and putting them in here. I know back when my mom was baking, they would call for sifting a lot, and this is an older cookbook. Most cookbooks that I've seen these days do not call for sifting, so I'm not worried about it. I don't sift anything, and it always comes out perfect. So you want to I'm just mixing these together like this, and then we're going to set this to the side. Now you want to combine your butter, water, and peanut butter in a saucepan. And you want to combine them over medium heat and then bring them to a boil. And you may have just seen a while ago when I was introducing this, when I had the ingredients out, I had my KitchenAid mixer out. I just assumed that I was going to need this, the KitchenAid, because I usually do need a mixer. Usually you want a hand mixer of some kind, or a KitchenAid, and you don't need one. You don't, this does not call for the mixer at all. So I'm going to heat this up like I said, and then we're going to bring it to a boil. Brought my peanut butter mixture to a boil. It does not say how long to let it boil. You have no idea. So when it started boiling, I took it off the heat, and I can only hope that that was the right thing to do. Now you see, I poured it into that flour or sugar mixture that we had set to the side, and now you want to mix it well. That looks like it's mixed well to me. Now it says you want to take your vanilla and your eggs and your buttermilk and mix those together and then pour that into the big bowl with all the other stuff. Mine is like a nice caramel color. That looks okay to me. So now you want to take your jelly roll pan. I'm trying to get used to saying that. Jelly roll pan. And you want to pour this whole thing into your jelly roll pan. I'm gonna put this in the oven, like I said, 350 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. I'm gonna go for 18 minutes, but I will make sure I'll let you know how long it was in there when it comes out, but I'm gonna set my timer for 18 minutes. I left the cake in for 19 minutes. When my timer went off at 18 minutes, it was still just a little bit pale, and I wanted it to brown up just a little bit more. So it's been 19 minutes, and now I just have it out on the rack. So now to make our frosting, we're gonna take our butter, peanut butter, and milk and put them in the saucepan again. Once again, we're not using, we don't need the mixer, and this is gonna remind you a lot of what we did before to make the cake. Because you're gonna put it in the saucepan, you're gonna heat it up over medium heat, and then we're going to bring it to a boil. And when it comes to a boil, we're gonna take it off and add the rest of our ingredients. It has started boiling, so I'm gonna remove this from the heat. I don't want it to come to a hard boil or anything, but I'm gonna remove it from the heat. Now we're gonna add our vanilla, and we're gonna add our powdered sugar and stir it together. Just like our cake was a caramely color, this is the same color. This is a caramely color. And it looks like it might have like little pockets of powdered sugar, but that doesn't bother me because, hello, it's powdered sugar, so it doesn't bother me. But it says you're supposed to spread this over the warm cake. So I'm gonna get my cake and we're gonna spread it. So you're supposed to get 15 or 20 servings out of this. I'm just gonna cut it like I normally would. And remember, I said our parchment paper on the ends did not come up the side. So we'll just see how this turns out. Because usually, you know, that first side is the first piece is ugly anyway. But this is about the size that I would cut it in. And then I'm just gonna go up down the side like this. And we'll see how it comes out here. Ah, yeah, came out really nice. Because of that parchment paper on the bottom, that was really easy. And then you can see the inside. It's perfect. So this was submitted by Kathy Rostash in Nevada, Ohio. I don't even know if I knew there was a Nevada, Ohio. She said, I made this for a church get-together and had many requests for the recipe. So will you. Well, I won't now because I've just given it away to you all. Wow.
That's good.
That
Don't take a bigger bite as I did though.
That peanut butter tastes incredible. It tastes like
Good icing.
it tastes like Kevin, when Kevin makes homemade peanut butter fudge. That's exactly what that tastes like.
Has a very similar flavor. And it's thick. The frosting, the icing, frosting, whatever you want to call it, is it's very thick. I was worried it was going to be kind of runny, but it's not. It really thickened up.
The texture of that cake is perfect. I mean, this was such an easy recipe. I was worried about, because they don't tell you when to do this and when to do that. Well, there's really no need to tell you because you just do it. As soon as I would start to see bubbles both times for the cake and the frosting, that's when I took it off the heat. And then for the frosting the cake, I was worried about, do you let it cool at all? And I did not. I took it out of the oven and it was ready to go. Now, I have let it sit. I didn't tell you that. I did let it sit for an hour on the counter, and I'm sure that helped it set up, but that's just because we were busy doing other things. So it has been sitting there for an hour. I think it's fantastic.
It's very good. The cake itself is very, it has a lot of moisture. It's a very moist cake. And I thought at first it was going to be dense, but it's not. It's a pretty, it's not super, super light, but it's not dense either. It's kind of just a really good cake texture. It's really good.
Anybody
But I could eat spoonfuls of the frosting.
Oh yes, anybody that likes peanut butter fudge
Yeah,
needs.
It's almost like a peanut butter fudge cake.
Yes, they called it a peanut butter Texas sheet cake because you make it in your cookie sheet. But yeah, this could be called peanut butter fudge cake because that is identical to what it tastes like.
It is.
And it
Very
is
good.
over the top sweet.
Oh yeah, when you add that much powdered sugar into frosting, it's going to be sweet.
Yes, and I was worried, was the peanut butter flavor, was it going to be enough? Because you only put a 1/4 cup in the mix and a 1/4 cup in the frosting.
That's all I taste.
Yes, it is sweet and peanut butter.
Yeah.
That's all there is to
Absolutely.
this, but that is fantastic.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Make it again.
Yes, absolutely. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.